wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. All right, I'll take one. It all comes back to love. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Sing that one more time. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. There, so it is. All right, let's go right into how could anyone ever tell you? If I can. There we go. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected. How deeply you're connected to my soul. Thank you. You may be seated.
Let's begin this portion of our service by taking a deep, centering breath. Today's centering statement is, love is the highest spiritual principle. The first and most fundamental spiritual principle is love. Love for all beings, for others, for yourself, for the planet, and for all of creation. And we practice the truest form of love by focusing on appreciation, non-attachment, respect, and having a genuine desire to see the best in everything. This is the chair.
There you go.
And now please repeat these affirming statements after me. I am love, I am loved, and I am loving. I am love, I am loved, and I am loving. I see love in every person and every situation. I see love in every person and every situation. Love is my highest spiritual principle. Love is my highest spiritual principle. And so it is.
Well, good morning, Unity of Music City. How is everyone today? Good morning. Great to see everybody here on Super Bowl Sunday, or as we know it as Superb Owl Sunday. I won't go into all of that. So great to have all your energy here. Sherry, do we have any announcements this morning?
Yes, we do. A few. The Leadership Council meeting is February the 22nd at 6:30 p.m. Please see the weekly happenings or check our social media for Zoom information. Can you hear me with this mask on? Mm-hmm. Okay. Roundtable meeting for value statement and to begin a discussion on Unity of Music City's business model. Tuesday, March 1st at 6 p.m. via Zoom. Again, please check our social media for Zoom information. Book discussion group continues to occur every Wednesday until February the 23rd from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. via Zoom. The book is Everything is Here to Help You by Matt Kahn. It's facilitated by Valerie Dennison. If you'd like more information about that, call or text her at 615-414-8899 for more information. Please see the weekly happenings or check our website for information on the Zoom address. The prayer chaplains are always available for your prayers. If you have a prayer concern that you would like the chaplains to be made aware of, you may email the prayer chaplains the request to, who did this? UOFMCprayerrequests@gmail.com. There is also a prayer box at the rear of the room. If you are here today and would like to drop a prayer request into the box, they again check that, and those prayer requests are welcomed and also held in prayer. Okay.
All right. It's time for the monthly mantra. And we're talking about love this month, obviously, because it's Valentine. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone, to you and yours. I want to highlight the second verse of this song. This song, if you're new to us, this song was written by our former music director, our beloved former music director, who was such an amazing songwriter, such an amazing musician, and such an amazing human being. What a light to the world. Her name was Judy Blackwelder. In the second verse, she says, when you long for understanding, when you're not sure what is true, turn to the one thing that never fails. Ask yourself, what would love do? And we know that love is the answer to any question every day. Stay seated today and just think about these lyrics as you sing them. Are you searching for answers? Torn by confusion and strife. Look deep inside your heart. There you will find answers to this mystery we call life. Love is the answer. Love will find a way. Love is the answer. Love is the answer to any question every day. When you long for understanding, when you're not sure what is true, turn to the one thing that never fails. Ask yourself, what would love do? Love is the answer. Love will find a way. Love is the answer. Love is the answer to any question every day. Love is the answer. Love will find a way. Love is the answer. Love is the answer to any question every day. Love is the answer to any question every day. Sound beautiful. Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Communion is the word. The affirmation is, I commune with the source of all life that lives within me. Now together, please. I commune with the source of life that lives within me. As we grow and change in our lives, so do our perceptions shift and adapt. A child may see their parent as a caregiver when young, a friend in their adolescence, a comrade and confidant in their adult life. Thus, too, our perception of God changes, and as it does, we commune with that aspect of God. God may be our healer when sick, our guide when lost, our mentor when confused, our comforter when grieved, and so on. We commune and align with whatever aspect of Source we may need in this moment, knowing that our needs may change, but God does not. I am in communion with the energy of love. I commune with the source of all life that lives within me.
Now let's take a moment, wherever you are, to sit in your space and close your eyes for just a moment. Let's bring our awareness to the very life that lives within us, the divine spark that doesn't change. That divine spark is the answer for wherever you are and what you need in this moment. Your needs may change depending on your life, your present situations, whatever hurts, whatever yearns for love. We know that in this moment, the very source of love, of healing, of connection and communion lives within us, feeding us, nourishing us, and being present with us. So in this moment, as we acknowledge this spark, I actively commune to whatever it is I need in this moment, in the silence, in the silence. I commune with the source of love. Compassion fills my very being. Wisdom illuminates my mind. Healing flows from my very essence. I commune with all aspects of love as they are present in my very being in this moment.
There is just one presence and just one power in all the world. There is just one presence and just one power in my life. There is just one presence and just one power. God is with us each and every hour. There is just one presence and just one power in my life. There is just one presence and just one power. presence and just one power in my life. There is just one presence and just one power. God is with us each and every hour. There is just one presence and just one power in my life. There is just one presence and just one power in my life.
You guys sound amazing. I'm so grateful for Ryan. It will be 15 years that we have met tomorrow. We met on Valentine's Day. I know, and that's sweet. Early in our relationship, I lived in Clarksville at the time. And so when we would spend the day together, I would go to church, and then afterwards he would change his shoes, change his shirt, and we would go to lunch, and we would go for a hike. That was just kind of our pattern. So probably 2 months into our relationship, we're in his office, and he's changing, and the alarm goes off, and it's loud, and he rushes downstairs. He's gone for maybe a minute. Well, I'm sitting there in his office, not moving. I don't want to touch anything. I don't want to mess anything up. And the word awareness flashes in my mind. So he comes running upstairs. He's gone for a second. And he goes, I don't know what really tripped that. And I said, what's awareness? And he looked at me and he goes, that's the password. How did you know that? I think he had known that I was psychic. I don't think that it's one thing to know something, it's another thing to really commune with it and experience that, right? So in that moment, I thought, I'm just open. I wasn't looking for that word. I was just open. And I think whenever you're open, you're more likely to receive things. I mean, I was in a new relationship. I had also started a business. So I was really excited and really, just open to life. And when you're in that space, you're going to receive things a little bit more clear. I don't necessarily believe that energy is high or low. I believe that we go cloudy or we go clear. When someone is irate or scattered, you can't really tell me that that's low, because that doesn't feel low to me, but that does feel kind of cloudy. There are times when I haven't listened to myself, when I've said, no, I don't want to know that. And then when I look for answers, I'm not able to receive them. I think it just has to do with whether you're open or not. A little background on me. I am a psychic medium. That's what I do. I'm the latest in my family. But I'm the type of person that I constantly seek answers. I'm kind of pushing. It can seem like I'm challenging sometimes because I have to look at everything from a lot of different angles. So this week, when I was asked to speak today, I thought, okay, so obviously Spirit needs me to say something. And I thought about, why am I speaking this Sunday? Why am I speaking? And what's the purpose of church anyway? Like, why do we come? You ever think about that? You gotta turn it on. From the bottom or the side. So you look at that. This is church. There's a synagogue. There's a temple. There's all these places of worship. And you ever think about, why do we come to church? What are we here to do? Are we here to glorify God? Because I don't know, God's pretty glorious. I don't think God necessarily needs us to glorify that which is already perfect. Is it to connect? Are we looking to connect? I think the last 2 years we've been looking to connect. It's been hard on us. Is connection the same thing as communion? I grew up Catholic, and every Sunday you would take the bread and the blood of Christ inside you. And the Catholics believe that it's not symbolic, like that is the body and blood of Christ. So it is us connecting to the divine. And then I thought about the world that we live in and how we need a church to connect. Do we need a church? What kind of world have we been in the last couple of years? Well, if you ask a physicist to talk about the world, you're going to get something like, we live in the third dimension. And I think that we use these terms, and sometimes we don't know what the third dimension is, what the fourth dimension is, what the fifth dimension is, what all that is. So I'm just going to break it down very simply for you. So the third dimension is measured by height, length, and width. That's how you know that you're in the third dimension. It's tangible. You can measure it. And so if you study sacred geometry, the symbols for the third dimension are a prism and a tetrahedron. So when you think about it, if God is light and it's breaking through a prism, you get a rainbow. Now here's what's interesting. You can measure the energy of the white light, the nanometers. And you can take the measurement of nanometers of the white light and of the rainbow, and they don't diminish. The energy does not change whatsoever. It diffuses, but that doesn't mean the energy changes. So if you think about it, if we are like a prism, okay, and the white light is coming through us, and it's breaking down into a rainbow, you got the chakra system. You're getting a little chakra class right now. Awesome. So the chakras break through as a rainbow, and this is how we connect and how we engage with the world. What's interesting, though, is in Hinduism, chakra, which actually comes from an area of Hinduism called Tantra, they don't believe that the white light is coming into you. There is no point where the white light of God enters your body. The white light of God comes from within you. And it channels through the spinal column. And in the spinal column is that prism that changes it into how we engage in the world. So the light is actually coming from us into the world. And so you can actually break these down into groups, okay? So you have, I hope it doesn't, you have the terrestrial chakras, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, and we're going to throw the heart in there. And you have the celestial chakras, which are the crown, the brow, and the throat, and we're also going to throw the heart in there. The heart is considered to be the bridge between heaven and earth. Okay, so it kind of has those qualities. They're seen very different how we see it in the West and how they see it in the East. That's just kind of what we do. We change and adapt things. So the chakra system in Hinduism is really more associated with petals, gods, certain qualities. And so if you think about the terrestrial chakras, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, and the heart, the first energy center that you get at that does not have any terrestrial energy is the throat. It is your first chakra that you get to that connects to the divine, that doesn't have any earthly quality, okay? So we call it the chakra of communication because it's located right here at the throat, where your vocal cords are, where you're vibrating out. It's how we connect to the world. So we say communication. The name Vishuddha means being with pure light, being with pureness, being in pureness. And we associate it with communication. But in Tantra, it's associated with the community, with communion with Source, because it's your first step to the astral realm, to the celestial realms. It has no earthly energy attached to it. It finds connection with people, and it helps you understand your common ground with other people. And so if you notice, there's a COMM that's there in every word. COMM, the prefix means together or with. So even in the name Vishuddha, being with pureness, there is something that they knew, that we knew, that transferred over, that was very much about connection, with, togetherness. I think that there's a bit of a difference between connection and communion, at least to me. We've wanted connection for the last couple of years. I think we've wanted connection long before that. Connection can be like talking to someone and engaging with someone. Communion is sitting with them in their pain. That's the difference between being very empathic with someone and having sympathy for someone. When you can sit with someone and really be with them, you're communing with them. Words are important to me. And so when we say we are looking for connection, I really think that we're looking for communion. We're really looking to engage with someone. That's, to me, the difference between sort of hearing and channeling. I'm not a channel. There are some people that have the miraculous ability to channel a being through them or beings. If you're aware of the Abraham material, Esther Hicks channels these beings named Abraham. The Seth material, Jane Roberts channeled Seth. So it's an embodiment of sorts. There are some beings that we know that have connection. These people have connection. These people had connection with God. You have Samuel on your left, or right, wherever you are. And Samuel was the son of Hannah. Hannah couldn't have any kids. Prayed. She finally got Samuel. And Samuel had a task to find a king. And he found Saul. And they kind of went poopy after a while. And he's the one that found David. And through this whole course, he was talking to God. So he wasn't necessarily communing. He was engaging and connecting with. And then we have Moses, right? Moses wasn't really communing with God because he was like, I don't want to go talk to Pharaoh. I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound like fun to me. And things were not set free. His people were not set free until he communed with the will of the divine. Until you do that, you're not really free. And then you have Neil Donald Walsh, who wrote Conversations with God. Now, if you ask him, he did not channel this material. It wasn't embodied through him. This was inspired. It was an inspiration. It was a connection to God. But have we seen people that have communed with God? Yeah. We got Jesus over here. Jesus was seen as God. We would call this an avatar. As God, manifest in body. And then we have Dalai Lama. He is seen to be the avatar of infinite compassion. He doesn't see himself as a god. He sees himself as a monk. And we see him as an avatar. And then you have Vishnu in Hinduism. Vishnu is said to be the sustainer god. There really is only one God in Hinduism that comes in many forms. And Vishnu is said to be the one that manifests on earth as an avatar, keeping us safe, imparting wisdom. It's said that we've already had 9 avatars that we're waiting for the last Kalki. Now, some people think that the Dalai Lama is actually an avatar. you know, we're waiting. But these people have shown us what communion with Spirit is. They understand. They don't necessarily believe that they're more than. They are just it. They're just pure being. And in that. And what are they being? They're being love. That's what they're being. I think there's got to be a secret or a map or something that takes us from connection to communion. Because if you look at the chakra system, connection is down at the second energy center. It's the center of relationships. It's how you engage to the world. But communion is up here. You got to go through lessons to do that. And so I wonder what it's like to go from there to there and what that map is. And that's where I've pondered a lot in my life. How do I really commune with God? Because when I'm in communion with God, it's marvelous. I look at people and I'm like, I see the light inside you. This happens 1% of the time. Most of the time, I'm in connection. I'm talking to God and I'm like, you want me to love whom? Yeah, I'm good. I'm not sure if I really want to do that. Forgive them? I'm still working on that. But I think the way that you get into communion is by listening and by engaging. I love looking at time. Timing is very important to me. I look at astrological time. I look at what's going on with the seasons. It'll tell me what to do. And when I do that, I engage. So for Lunar New Year, I will set up my altar. And I will set up my altar because I'm engaging with the energy that's coming in. When it's a new moon, I clear things out. I'm already engaging with that energy. And we are asked to love and engage with each other. That's what we're here to do. When we do this, we really connect to each other. What we have to ask ourselves is when we're listening with love, what is that? Because we say love is the answer. But what is love? Because love is a really big word. Love is a huge word. And sometimes it can be very intangible. I will say things like, I'm just trying to help you. And is that really trying to help somebody? Or is it trying to move them in the direction that I want to move them in? I told this story in a class this week, and I'm going to give it to you again. So for New Year's, my in-laws were coming in, and I was really excited because I love to cook. So I thought, what am I going to cook? My in-laws don't eat varied food. They like what they like. And in my mind, it's just because you haven't tried other things. You just got to try something else. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some Indian food. Indian food, it's so flavorful. Because my intention was to teach you. I want to educate you. I want you to know this. So I sat with that for a second. And then as I was getting ready to get the groceries, I thought, I don't know if this is really what they would like. Is that really my job? I mean, they didn't ask for an education. They didn't say, try something new. And I thought, maybe not this time. Maybe I'll just give them something that they're going to be familiar with. So I decided to make a simple roast chicken, some mashed potatoes, green beans and carrots in the crock pot. And we all sat down to eat. And what I heard was, this is the best food. And I thought the love was translated. They could feel that. So you have to look at what we are trying to do when we say love. Because love is really broad. That's love. Love is empowerment. Love is being curious. Love is having comfort with someone, giving them validation. Sometimes boundaries can be love. So when we are communing with the divine and connecting to that light within us, what we're going to be met with Karen at the store so that we can go, what are we going to do? So you have to listen to your intuition, to go within, and your intuition might say, you need to engage with yourself in the car and step away. I don't think pulling out a phone and recording it is going to be an action of love. I don't think that's really going to add much to it. It might say, be curious and ask questions. It might say, just hold the space. But when we talk about love as the answer, sometimes it's easier for me to break it down into hope and equity and forgiveness and all kinds of stuff. This is just a map to start y'all off with. It makes me think that love is a constellation, that each star is a different quality, and that all of us are that quality. One of you can be comfort, while the other one is courage. And both can live at the same time. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. There's also a movement online called A Day Without Immigrants. And the youth, this was started by a TikToker in California, they're asking us to not purchase anything. Don't go out to eat. Don't buy anything. That'll show them. And when we have this, I want to celebrate Valentine's Day because I want to express love. I also want to hold reverence for immigrants. How can I do both? Can I do both? There are a lot of people that go, I just can't. But we can. We can hold loving space for things. Two things can be true. You can be very scared and still act in love. And those two things can be true. This is how we commune with the divine. There's a book called The Energy Healing Experiments. This is done by a professor, a doctor named Gary Schwartz. He worked with a lot of different mediums, a lot of different psychics and healers. There's a book called The Energy Healing Experience. It's just a part of it. There's much more information and material out there. But this is a picture of the human body, the aura. And this is when you're not acting with the intention of love. And the other one was having intentional love. That's the difference right there. When we start to connect to our intuition and our communion, we're going to get a lot of different things. Spirit is going to say, you need to help that person. And you need to understand how to listen, because helping is very different. With psychic ability and doing readings, I have symbols that make sense to me. When I see a big hat, that's my symbol for Texas, because everything's bigger in Texas. I have symbols that mean things to me. When I see a piece of paper that's burning in my mind, that is an agreement that is disconnected, that is cleared out. So just like that, where I have developed my symbols, these are just symbols. Courage is going to feel red. It's going to ignite you. Kindness may feel lavender. Silliness may feel yellow, but these are just symbols. When we cultivate our intuition, our psychic ability, this isn't just about doing some esoteric work. We're here as humans to do the human work. When Deb has been talking about water and fire and air, these are just aspects to God. These are just aspects of God raining down on you to nourish you when you're thirsty, warming you up when you feel cold, inspiring you when you feel tapped out. These are just aspects of God. These are aspects of God. They connect us to the Holy Divine. I wouldn't be finished if I didn't leave you with a quote, right? We need a quote. I love this quote. It's lovely. What you seek is seeking you. I am the type that I challenge everything. That's how I learn. So I don't know if this is true. Respectfully to Rumi, I don't think it is. I don't think God is seeking you, because I don't think that you disconnected from God. I don't think the divine does not know where you are. This is a great quote for maybe a purpose, but you never disconnected with the divine. You are fully embodied now, you just haven't realized it. My spirit guide, Johnny, told me one day that everybody has two destinies. Your first destiny is to come in to learn something. So you choose, I'm going to choose forgiveness. So I will have maybe not the greatest parents, maybe not the greatest partners, maybe pretty horrible bosses. But I will go to therapy, kumbaya all my stuff out, cleared it out. And I think at that point we're like, I figured it out, I forgave them. This is sort of knowing versus channeling, right? I forgave them, I'm good with them. So Spirit will say, okay, well, let's put you to the test. So a year later, you're going to meet Miss Karen. And now that you've done your work, you have the ability to offer kindness and offer grace. Since you've already done it, let's embody it. Let's do that. That's what we're here to do, right? So that is your primary destiny, is to embody something that you're learning. Your secondary destiny is how others will learn through your life. There was a boy in the 80s in Indiana named Ryan White. And he ended up getting HIV from a contaminated bag. He was a hemophiliac. Now, I don't think that he manifested that. I don't think that he wanted that. Oftentimes in New Thought, New Age, we look at our energetic responsibilities. I don't think that he manifested that. But I do think that we learned a lot about HIV through his life, that you don't get it when you sit next to somebody, that if you drink from a fountain, you're not going to get it, right? So what we learn from somebody's life, when my embodiment and what I'm here to learn and what others are learning through my life combine and connect and align, this is what we call communion. That is what communion is. That's what we're here to do. Now, do we do that often? Probably not. We're not going to be perfect. Personally, I don't even think Jesus was perfect. Jesus was a dude. I don't know any dudes that are perfect. Maybe a woman, but definitely not a dude. But we're here to get better. So when we say what you seek is seeking, you have already been found. Spirit is like a mom at the end of the day waiting for her child at home, making grilled cheese, knowing that you're going to get home. God's not going anywhere. And so with that knowing, we have aspects of ourselves that need communion, hurt, aspects of our home, of our spaces. We go into these spaces and we don't necessarily commune with them. They shelter us from the elements. Our food nourishes us. Our pets love us. I don't know if we really connect. We have to connect first in order to get into communion. How often do we listen to our body and go, are you good? Everything okay? Do you need some water? We need to go to that in order to go into communion. So we're going to do a little exercise. I want everybody to close their eyes. If you're at home, please close your eyes. And I want you to take a couple deep breaths. And I want you to bring your focus to your head. Be aware of your eyes, your nose, and your mouth. Now be aware of your neck and your throat. Bringing your awareness down to your shoulders, to your chest. Bring that focus down your arms, your hands, your stomach, and your back. Continuing to focus lower on your hips and your thighs, your knees, your shins, and your feet. And now bring your focus back to your chest. Now that you've given your body some focus and some attention, what do you need in this moment? Do your hurts need some attention? Does your voice need some courage? Do your thoughts need some peace? What aspects of love, of God, of Source, have you been needing and are willing to commune at this time with? So just take a second to bring that into your awareness and to be open to communing with that today and every day. And so it is.
And so it is. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to commune with you through hugs, through songs, through conversation. You're so important to this spiritual community. And I want to thank you for being here today. Thank you for giving of your time, your talent, your treasures, because it's you that makes us who we are. And you help us grow. So in that spirit, let's think about the ways to give, and let's say our offertory affirmation together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I choose to give and all that I'm open to receive. So I'll sing I'm Grateful together. Grateful for another day of living. Grateful for a new chance to forgive. I'm grateful to receive life's many blessings. of living. Grateful for a new chance to forgive. I'm grateful to receive life's many blessings. And I'm grateful for the love I have to give. And I'm grateful for the love I have to give. Now let's stand as we're able, and Sherry's going to lead us in the prayer for protection.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Life is good, and we're truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. We are truly blessed. We are truly blessed. And so it is. Thank you for coming, everybody. And we'll see you next week. Have a great Super Bowl Sunday and a great Valentine's Day.